If information transformed lives, we'd all be successful. There was a day I watched an infomercial almost word to word to mine. It was the old days with a big cordless phone, and I threw it and smashed it against the wall and said, "It's over for me. It's over." People will trust you, buy from you, learn from you when they feel understood, not when they understand you. I said, I'm not selling the time, I'm selling the outcome.
Welcome to Wealth Made Simple, everybody. I'm here with our guest, Dean Graziosi, a mentor of mine and a serial entrepreneur. Dean, thank you so much for joining me here
Good
today.
to be here with you, man.
I'm excited to do this, and I prepared quite a bit of questions today
Okay,
because
let's do it.
I feel like the state of entrepreneurship has completely changed. I mean, for years, the formula was pretty simple. You could learn a skill, build expertise, package your knowledge, build an audience around it, and that created an entire industry. We got courses out of it, coaching, masterminds, but now AI can generate information instantly.
Yeah.
And if you ask me, it feels like attention is fragmented, trust has lowered, and a lot of people are wondering if the old model of entrepreneurship even works the same way anymore. So you've been at the center of the knowledge industry for decades. You've seen the early days of self-education all the way to where we are at now. So today, let's move past generic motivation or take action advice. I want to understand what's actually changing, what opportunities are disappearing, and what still matters. Because what is most important right now is for people to not just get information anymore that's been commoditized, but for them to get a transformation. So talk to me a little bit about where you feel the state of business is at here today.
Well, I think this is one of those rare times where it's almost impossible for anybody to predict, right? AI is moving faster than anyone would have imagined. My daughter and I, she's here with me today. We were just watching a clip of Elon Musk, and he doesn't like to predict past 5 years, if you notice. He doesn't, because there's so much change
Yes.
coming on. But what he predicted in 5 years is that AI will be smarter than the collective of every human in the world. We know that's coming, right?
Oh.
He predicts 100 million, if not 500 million, humanoid robots will be serving us and doing things, hardcore labor to handling your house, to helping your children study.
Yes.
And he's usually spot on. Like if you look, right? So that's coming. So what that does for the brain is it's hard because if you look at Moore's law for the last 70 years when it comes to technology,
Yeah.
Moore's law is simply, if you never heard it, if you're watching right now, is technology doubles every 2 years and it
Okay.
becomes half the price, usually half the size,
Yeah.
right? That's just been throughout time up until AI. Now, every 4 months, it's going times 10. So it's hard for even
Wow.
people who spend their life studying this to understand where we're going to be at.
Yeah.
But I choose to, and this is just a choice. And I want to go upstream, and then you help me get as tactical as you want.
Yeah.
But I choose to have a different way to approach it. Because if you're in a group of 6 people, 3 are like, Armageddon, it's going to get the nuke codes, it's going to end the world, it's going to take
Yeah.
jobs away, we're all screwed.
Yeah.
The other 3 are, it's going to cure cancer, help us go faster, help
Change the
quicker,
world.
change the world, right? And
Yes.
I would just rather to choose down the middle and towards the left. Meaning, there was this, I'm sorry, I'm going to go upstream for a minute, and then let's get tactical. But I remember an important time, Wayne Dyer, I watched a live training of his when he found out that he had leukemia.
Okay.
And he had leukemia, and he was up on stage in the greatest mood you'd ever seen in your life. And he said when he first found out he had leukemia, he started thinking it's because I drank too much when I was young. I abused my body when I was young. Maybe I wasn't a good man. Like he went down all the road of why I would get leukemia.
Yeah.
And he said for weeks, he just woke up depressed. I can't believe this. I have leukemia. And then he said one day he woke up, looked in the mirror, and he said, I'm Wayne Dyer, for gosh sakes. He said, I'm going to be the guy that kicks leukemia's ass.
Mm.
I'm going to be the example for everybody. And he said in that moment, not when he started feeling better, in that moment he felt better. In that moment he felt inspired. In that moment he wanted to shoot a video. In that moment he wanted to come on stage where I got to watch him and share this.
Yes.
And the fact of the matter is, nothing changed but his belief, right? He still had leukemia.
Correct.
He ended up dying a few years later of a heart attack, not the leukemia, right? So with that, I know that's a long answer to a short question, but AI is here. It's evolving faster than we can imagine. And I am going to choose that it's going to help cure diseases, that it's going to help humans unlock another version of themselves by taking away the mundane, the boring, the repetitive. It's going to do the things we don't like to do so we can finally have time to be creative, to unlock that next level of entrepreneurship, or maybe be home for dinner.
Yes.
Now, and with that frame of mind, and I want to go more tactical on the approach and what I think about how AI could make you more human and why I think people need more human connection more than ever.
Yes.
But through that lens of looking at AI, I can approach it completely different than anybody else because I don't let the negativity in. Even though some people will call me naive, I'd rather be like Wayne Dyer and say, I got leukemia, but I'm going to kick its ass.
Your
I'd
attitude.
rather say AI is going to fuel me. It's going to make my kids be safer. I'm going to use that to build a farm, and I'm going to put houses all over the farm for my kids to live next to me so my grandchildren are close. And AI's allowed me to go faster, quicker, and write 2 books and do the thing. So when I'm in that state, I feel as an entrepreneur that opportunity attracts to me.
Yeah.
People attract to me. Clients attract to me. And I think when you exude that, no matter what AI does, we're always going to want to be in connection, in communication, in spirit with humans.
Yes.
So that's the foundation of it all.
Yeah. You have another side of the population, though, that can't help but to live in fear, though, Dean. You saw that Meta, I believe, just laid off 10% of their workforce. And people are wondering, well, if I went to college for 4 years and spent another, 2 years getting a master's degree in something, am I going to have to start all over because of AI? That's what
In some cases, yes. And we started this off talking about the mindset of an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So I just shared the whole mindset of an entrepreneur. If you're in a career and went to school for 6 years and you're in it, you're like, the hell with you, you're not talking to me. But the fact of the matter is, if I could wave a magic wand, I would help even people with a career or a career mindset. Thank goodness for people with that are great at their career, or else we wouldn't have businesses.
Yeah.
But I would help them have that same approach to it because the fear is what everybody's going to do.
Yeah.
The worry, and it is happening, right? And now I think a lot of the layoffs that have happened in the last couple of years, just because I get to see behind the curtain of a lot of big businesses, they're really just right sizing from COVID overhires. That is the majority.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is the majority. I have a dear friend who's got a $24 billion a year business, and he does the IT for a lot of these big companies.
Yes.
He said, when you get in a room and the doors are closed and there's no cameras on, he said, we're all just letting go of the COVID overflow, and it's easier to say it's AI.
Yeah.
But it is coming. So not being naive,
Right.
it's coming. So in that, those that like Who Moved My Cheese, those that say, I can't believe this is coming, this is going to ruin my life, this is going to end everything. In the book, Who Moved My Cheese, the ones that waited for their cheese to come back when it stopped coming, almost starved to death. The ones that said, I'm going to go explore and find what's next, thrived and prospered. And I think this is a time where we have to say it is changing. It is not saying the same. It is going to cause job loss and opportunity. If you believe what Elon Musk and some really smart people think is this is going to open up. Elon Musk believes the economy, the GDP in America will be 10 times the size in 5 years because of the output and the production we can do. What if he's half wrong and it's 5 times the size? It is going to cause and create opportunity, but we have to be flexible. We have to focus like Wayne Dyer. It's going to make my life better, even though it sucks in this moment. How do I explore? How do I investigate? How do I go out into the maze and try to find new cheese? I mean, literally, if you're stuck in a loop of AI is going to ruin my life, literally go read Who Moved My Cheese.
Yes.
It takes 1 hour and 55 minutes to read it, and you will say, I'm going to be the rare person that says this opportunity might be closing.
Yeah.
But this other door opens.
Who wrote this book, Dean?
Oh, got it.
This
Could you
seems
look it
like,
up?
yeah, this one seems like a
Oh, you
book
never
that-
read Who Moved My Cheese?
I need to read
oh my
this
God.
one.
Let me give you the parable real
Yeah.
quick. 2 little men, 2 little mice live in a maze.
Mhm.
They find a plethora of cheese. And they're not just cheese. They're eating cheese every day. There's so much, they're all getting heavy. They name it Cheese Town. And every day, yeah, that's the one. Just every day, somebody drops off cheese. They get used to it. They claim it. In fact, they think that they deserve this cheese. And one day it stopped coming.
Yeah.
And a week went by, 2 weeks went by, and the 2 little men are like, we deserve this cheese. It needs to come back. I'm staying right here till someone brings it.
Yeah.
And the mice said, it ain't coming back. We're going to go explore.
Right.
That's the moral of the story. They went out and explored. The 2 little people waiting almost died of starvation.
Yes.
They ended up finding more cheese, but they had to be brave to go out into the maze.
Yes.
And that's it. I mean, I don't want to oversimplify it, but you can't sit around and hope. You can't sit around and think the government's going to save us, because it's not. No one's
Yes.
going to wave a magic wand. They're talking about in the future that there's going to be so much abundance that the government can help support those that lose their jobs. How quick does the government move?
Pretty slow.
Pretty slow. It's
Pretty
not.
slow.
It might be in 15 years, maybe
Yeah.
in 10 years, but it's not going to. In the interim, those that thrive are the people that are probably listening to you. Because if you're negative and you think it's the end of the world, you probably already turned this podcast off,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're
That's
not
right.
listening to. You're not following Karlton, right? You're clicking on the doomsday support. So I would just say, keep that open mind of innovation, creativity. Look for where the puck is going. Try to shift. Read the right books. Surround yourself with the right people, and opportunities and new doors will open.
Yeah.
That's just. And again, some people might say that's naive. It's just the way I've approached it my whole life. Do I get fearful sometimes? Of course. Do I doubt myself? Of course, but it only lasts moments.
Yeah.
Because I can overpower it with the other.
I like that. Speaking of moving the cheese, you were in the info space very early on.
Yeah.
You monetized knowledge. What did you see early on that most people were missing? What were you exploiting?
It's a good question, and I still do it to today. Knowledge alone isn't enough. Information alone is enough. We live in the information world. People say we're in the information age. We're not. We're in the information overload.
Mhm.
We're in information abundance to where it's overwhelming. If information transformed lives, we'd all be successful. And why does that not happen? And when I look back, it's funny because I shared a little this when we were together last time in Florida with a group of great people. But it's really important to know, in this industry that I'm in, the either discovering what works and sharing it, or living the experience and sharing it, right? You discovered so many incredible things on how to help people with wealth, with protecting their wealth, with doing taxes ethically. You learn so much. Then you realize, hey, I could do this for a couple of clients, but I could teach the whole world
Right.
these secrets that I found, right? And once you understand it, what could be better in life than helping somebody go faster and getting paid to do it? Like, just being honest. When people say, why do you love this industry? I help people for a living.
Yes.
Like I'm on a webinar or I'm on training, and there's tens or hundreds of thousands of people and they're all cheering it in a thing. I'm like, I'm working right now. Like, what could be better? And all I'm sharing is something I discovered sooner. I'm a chapter ahead of you. You're gonna get to my chapter. I can help you get through it quicker, right? But AI is a great example. And I'm going to take 2 minutes and explain this,
Yeah.
because it's not just about this industry. It's about anything you want to shift in your life. So many times when we think we want to lose weight, get intimacy back in our relationship, start the business, scale the business, we're looking for that knowledge.
Yes.
And we can find it. But why doesn't it work? So I was meeting with largest bank in the world. I shared with you who I'm meeting with. Anyway, they want us to help with training, have our company help train some of their employees on AI. And she said to me, why isn't our AI education working? We have AI creating AI training. It is so good, but nobody's using it.
Mm.
And it's the same thing I noticed 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago in this industry, because what I watched, I'm digressing a little, so reel me back in if the ADD kicks in. But I realized when I first, about 25 years ago, my first infomercials really took off.
Yes.
And when people say, why infomercials? Because there was no internet when I started. So just that's why, right?
Well, less.
So when they took off, people, and I wasn't in this industry yet. Now I started getting the number 2, number 1 infomercial in the world. And all of a sudden there was like 4 copycats.
Mm.
And I remember freaking out. I'm like, they just ripped off the whole show. And then they went through the program and ripped off all the information. I'm like, oh my God, there's no way I'm going to survive. And I got 80 employees now, and I don't have I didn't come from a rich family. I remember freaking out, Karlton.
Yes.
Like, I can't even remember those days, but I remember sick to my stomach. There was a day I watched an infomercial almost word to word to mine. And it was the old days with a big cordless phone, and I threw it and smashed it against the wall and said, it's over for me. It's over. And then I watched one disappear, and then one disappear, and then they're gone, and then they're gone.
Mm.
And there was 2 things. One, they ripped off the education. They couldn't rip off how deeply I cared about people.
Yes.
And 3, they were missing all the things to get somebody to actually do the education. And I'd love to say I learned this. I'm going to say I was just blessed to see it, maybe because I had dyslexia and I had trouble learning in school, that the only way I moved the needle in my life is I needed deep tools and purpose to move me. So when I look back now, and I even had AI look at my education for 30 years, I said, tell me the top What is the pattern of which I do when I educate? So remember when I said, if you want to lose weight, intimacy, scale the business, start the business, go to 100 million a year, I think all of it follows the same thing. So this is it. And I'll try to do it as quick as possible.
Yeah.
If you're going to educate, let's keep that as step 5.
Okay.
4 or 5. Step 1 is you need a reason why. This might sound, but I mean, you need a deep purpose. Let's take AI, for example. If you say, as a career or in life, you need to learn AI or you're going to be left behind.
Yes.
That's pretty powerful, but it's not enough. You're going to use AI, or someone else is going to take your job who knows AI. I should do this. I should. But if I say, what if you could use AI to truly get back 15 hours a week? I don't know if you want to unlock your creativity. I don't know if you want to finally start that business, or maybe just have the time to work on your business so you could scale. Or Karlton, maybe you just want to be home for dinner and be at the dance recitals more. That's your 15 hours. That locks in a different level of purpose. So now it's like, yeah, I want to learn this so I can get that time back, because time's personal.
Yes.
Right? So 1 is you got to give them a reason. Number 2 is, if you take AI, you got to overcome their fear. Because if you have that and you go, yeah, but what if? And what if I give it my information and it puts it all over? What if it takes you got to help people have overcome fear of intimacy, fear of losing weight, fear of walking into the gym when you haven't been there in 20 years. If you don't overcome people's fear, that'll stop them.
Yep.
Number 3, you have to get people to embrace change. If you've never invested in real estate before and go to do it, it's like, but I'm an accountant. You got to get them to realize that if they don't change, they'll die. If they stay in the same place, if I'm not climbing, I'm sliding. So, but haven't taught a thing. I have to get you a reason why to do it, get rid of the fear. And then we got to get you to embrace change. And then the 4th thing, if you take AI as an example, you got to clear the clutter. If you're online, there's 100 different videos every day of telling you what you should do. And if you have too many choices, like Cheesecake Factory, you don't know what to eat. If you have too many choices with AI, you're like, do I go here? Do I go here? Do I go here? So you have to, number 4, you have to clear the clutter and give them one path. This is how you save money on your taxes, ethically and legally. This is how you learn AI to find AI back, to get time back in this one strategy. So when you do those 4 things, then you earn the right to educate.
Wow.
And then it lands. So when I look at all my competitors that freaked me out and made me smash the phone, and to this day, they'll still do it, they start at number 5. Like, I got Dean Graziosi's education. I'm going to kill it.
They started with the information. They started with the education.
They started with the education.
Yes.
But then there's a 6th one. Then what we do really well, and my partner Tony Robbins is the best in the world at it, is help them implement it into their life. So think if you got somebody you wanted to go to the gym. You're in the most amazing shape, right? You help them get a purpose. Hey, you want to run around with your grandchildren someday. That's deep. Let's get in shape. Cool, let's do it.
Yes.
I haven't been to the gym in 30 years. I'm feeling off. Come on, we can do that. Who cares? Everybody starts on day 1, right? Embrace change. This is the one exercise routine.
Yes.
Now they're like, I'm ready. And they go to the gym with you, fired up.
Yeah.
Now you got to get them to come back to the gym 4 days a week for the rest of
do.
their life.
Yes, you do.
So a lot of times people stop at the education. We don't stop. Then we teach you how to implement it into your daily routine.
Create the muscle.
And then we look like the heroes. And it's not that we're the heroes. Some other people's education are just as good, but they're doing the education block. We got 4 steps before it and 1 step after.
Yes.
I've never shared that publicly. So that's what we do.
That is the sequence right there.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay. You helped build one of the biggest industries around expertise and transformation. Do you think the knowledge industry still works the same way it did 10 years ago? And what's becoming harder now?
So what's becoming harder is that information is everywhere.
Yes.
You could go online right now and say, teach me how Dean Graziosi does 3-day events and puts 1 million people in it. It'll lay the whole thing out for you.
Mm-hmm.
Write a webinar like Dean Graziosi or Alex Hormozi or Russell Brunson or Karlton would do, right? And it'll do it. It'll give you the framework for it. So knowledge is at our fingertips. I mean, if you really think about it, intelligence, brilliance is accessible now for everybody.
It is.
It's the great equalizer.
Yes.
I'm just as smart as you in anything you want.
Yep.
I could go right now and find all the tax codes.
Yep.
Everything that you're doing.
Turn all my YouTube videos into a ebook, a playbook.
And even better, I have a private agent. I could say, take all this stuff and make me an app and run everything I do through it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? All of us could do that. And that's going to be available, and that's going to happen in certain areas. But I'm just sharing from being in this business for 3 decades is there's always been books available. There's always been YouTube videos available. The knowledge is always there, and you can get more of it to go faster. But transformation happens when the the trainer shows up at the gym and you work out together, even though there's a million books on how to work out and be in shape.
Yes.
The transformation happens when I jump on the phone with you and you put me at ease and go, no, we could do this ethically, we could do it morally, and we could save you X amount of money on your taxes. Let me go work on this for you. That's a human connection.
Yes.
And I think the more AI gives us stuff, we're going to be empowered. We're going to get rid of the mundane. We're going to get rid of the boring. We should use it in every area of our life to leave space for the human part.
Yes.
And I think this industry is going to actually exponentially grow because people are going to need the human touch. They're going to need, let's use AI to do all the things.
Yes.
I think we're all going to rise to another level. I think I'm going to impact more lives and make more money. But then I get to refine the most human part of Dean that connects with the most human part of you.
100%.
And I just, again, it could be the Wayne Dyer effect, but I think this industry is actually going to grow for those that don't just outsource their brains to AI,
Yes.
that don't just have a clone shoot their videos for them. Human connection. Let AI amplify the man or woman you are, not replace you.
Yes.
That's what my belief is.
Dean, I feel like there's a lot of entrepreneurs that are kind of just getting started out and they're struggling with building trust. I mean, everybody is good at, loading up a camera with a teleprompter and talking into a microphone today, but they're not gaining the trust from the following like people used to. I can even say online, there are more tax strategists all of a sudden on the internet now.
Yeah.
And so how do entrepreneurs navigate today relative to when we had it, where it was very easy to kind of sniff out people who actually were knowledgeable about something versus somebody who used AI to pop up on a website and make themselves look like they're already doing the thing?
Yeah, I mean, depth and breadth is a really important thing.
Hmm.
So there's kind of two sides to that. You said, how does someone gain trust? And then the other side of that was, how do you know if you can trust the right
Yes.
person? So let's go to the gaining trust part. If we go back to everything I just shared, everybody shares information. Somebody could right now take all of your stuff and regurgitate all the things that you do and sound really knowledgeable. But how do you earn trust? There's a couple of things that I've been living by for 3 decades in this industry. One is people will trust you, buy from you, learn from you when they feel understood, not when they understand you. So instead of always trying to be the deliverer of just value, you want to do that. You want to make people knowledgeable, but you got to meet people where they are. What are the conversations they're having at a coffee shop with their friend? Meet them there. What are the conversations they're having in the mirror to themselves? We have to let people feel understood. Like, for example,
Yes.
have you ever watched a presenter? And I think you and I could name a few. Gets up on stage and you're like, dang, that was amazing. This guy, this girl, she's doing incredible. But you really didn't take a note. You're just impressed with what they shared. And then you get another speaker on stage and you're like, gosh, this person's reading my journal. Like you're writing notes nonstop. John Maxwell to me was that.
Yes.
I don't know about you. I was listening to John Maxwell. I'm writing notes like I'm 14 years old, never heard any of it before. I felt like he was entering, and this is something to remember, he was entering conversations that were already going on in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 3 things I've been saying to myself for at least 25 years is meet people where they are, enter conversations that are already going on in their mind, and let people feel understood. Don't get them to understand you. We're in this phase like, I've done this, I've done millions, this is my plane, this is my thing, nobody really cares. They just want to know your depth of caring and if you understand where I'm at.
Yes.
Right? Like you just want people just want to say, if you're helping people through divorce, they just want to say, I know what it's like when you wake up in the morning and the house is silent because you don't hear the kids running around anymore.
Yeah.
I know what your heart feels like when you do that. And I know what you feel when you looked in the mirror, when like that's the kind of emotion that you go, I get it. I know what that feels like. I'm not perfect, but I've created a plan to get you out of that funk, to get you like, that's what people, rather than, hey, when you go through a divorce, here are the 10 things that can make you motivated, inspired. And that's what I'm seeing so much of. It's just information. It doesn't hit the heart. And I don't think I'm the brightest guy in the world. I just care deeply. And I've been in it for so long that I'd have to be blind not to see the patterns. And the people who make it beyond, you're one of them, is because you genuinely care, you meet them where they are, you understand their pain, and you have a true plan to solve it without being pressured, without high pressure. That's...
You called it depth, and it's depth in something.
Yeah, depth in kind of know I was on a rail. So
We'll go back to that one. I think a lot of people confuse consuming content with actually progressing. They listen to a podcast, they watch videos, they buy courses, but then they never really execute. So at what point does personal development become procrastination disguised as progress?
That's really good. It's funny. I use that all the time. I'm like, don't like. There's sometimes I'll see somebody buy several of my courses, and they're there, and they're on the screen, and they're like excited, and I'll literally call them up, like, "Hey, I see you on the third course. You got to send us a progress report of what you're doing, or you're not allowed in my next one because they can." People can fall in love with the feeling
Mm,
of being around somebody with so much energy like you or optimism or Tony Robbins and the feeling because it's euphoric. When you
yes.
really understand personal development, you understand what Wayne Dyer, when he switched that thought, when you can turn a negative belief to a solid belief, when you can take a horrible past and make it the wind behind your sail, not the anchor. That stuff is freaking amazing. It jacks you up, it jacks me up.
Yeah.
And we can get comfortable with that feeling. And what we want is another dopamine hit of the way that feels. What I've been saying for 2 decades is get obsessed with uncomfortable action, not just obsessed with the learning. Like, let your brain be rewired to go, when I take an action that makes me feel uncomfortable, that's when I'm moving forward. Because it's always uncomfortable.
Yes.
If it was comfortable, you would have already done it.
100%.
Right? So you
Yes.
got to look for the things that put a knot in your stomach that
Yeah.
are uncomfortable. Get through those. The dopamine hit on the, hear me on this one. The dopamine hit on the other side of an uncomfortable action will far outdo the motivation of a quick video.
Yes. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
There's times I'm staring at my camera and I'm like, oh, this is so cringe. But then I just end up posting it anyways.
Yeah.
And then I'm so grateful I got through it.
Yeah.
And then it ends up being some of the most impactful videos. You know what's been happening, which is very funny, is all of my scripted videos that I've had are slowly losing viewership. But when I get on my iPhone and I just turn around and just talk from my heart, those are the best
It's been my
videos
story of
that
my life.
that I have right now. And I don't even have to be talking about taxes. I could just be talking about the fact I like wearing brown lately. And I think brown looks very
Brown
good
looks
on my
good,
skin.
man. It
I think it
does,
looks really
man.
good on my skin. And so it's just interesting what's going on right now with content. If information alone is no longer enough, then what creates leverage today? Is it speed? Is it execution? Is it audience, distribution, trust? What do you think the next generation of entrepreneurs are underestimating right now?
I think this, I never shared, this is not something at the top of my head. I didn't look at any of your questions on purpose beforehand because I didn't want to have a pre-planned answer. I like to go with my gut. I would say speed, trust, and accountability.
Hmm.
I think
In that order?
No, I don't know. I don't know if that's the right order. I think accountability goes along with proximity, right?
Mm.
I would put like accountability dash proximity, and that proximity could be live online. I mean, I've been selling courses for 30 years,
Yeah.
right? I've obsessed on courses. I would bet to say, besides Tony Robbins, and now we're partners, we've sold more courses than any humans alive. I would have to say that's probably true.
Yeah.
We got 80 years between 30 and 50. We got 80 years of doing this.
A lot more time to go.
And yeah, knock on wood. I love the last 3 launches we did. I just switched it up and said, we're doing a 3-day launch. We're doing a 6-week boot camp that starts in 3 days. You got this momentum. Let's just keep it going. No stopping, no hesitating, no at-home course, even though it's got everything you need. People are too fragmented. There's too many things online. We're too distracted. People can't get through courses anymore.
Yes.
I mean, think about just because we get to check our phone every day. I don't know if it's you. I have to fight myself. I'll be in the middle of working and I'll grab my phone and go look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what are you doing? I'll put it down. I'm in the middle of working. I grab my phone. I'm like, oh my God, it's like Pavlov's dog. I can't even stop it. And this is what I do for a living. We're so distracted that I don't think courses have the depth and strength anymore because people aren't disciplined enough to get through it on their own.
Yes, you're right.
So I'm like, hey, 3-day event. We start Monday, live, 90 minutes, once a week. That was the first time we ever did it so quick. I didn't even give them a break. I gave them a 2-day break. We went live and we started the education. For example, our company AI Advantage, we had the AI Advantage boot camp where we taught people how to build a digital twin and start using agentic AI over 6 weeks.
It's incredible.
We started 3 days later. Highest satisfaction rate of any product I've ever built, 30 years. Lowest refunds of any product I've ever built in 30 years. Like nobody refunded. Ecstatic out of their mind. And I think it was because we kept them accountable. We started proximity and accountability. You're starting Tuesday.
No delaying.
And I could see you because you're up on the screen.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you. And we sent them emails. No one, you got to be there live. We had crazy, insane show up rate.
Yes.
And we carried them through this journey. They stayed with us for 6 weeks. They graduated, got done, was over, out of their freaking mind. I could have taken that same 6 weeks, packaged it into a course. It would have been the same value, but they would have been checking their phones, seeing life, getting distracted. So I think that I'm not just talking out of what I think. We just did proximity and accountability immediately.
Yes.
The other thing is we used to sell courses that were a year long. Take the next year to get it done. I'm charging the same amount and say, no, let's do it in 30 days. Let's do it in 6 weeks, right?
Most courses are 12 weeks or 16 weeks. You're taking them for months.
We're Mastermind. We're doing an event on June 18th. And I'm going with the same model, and I've reduced the whole thing that used to be in our year program. I reduced it to 30 days, 5 trainings in 30 days. I love this model. And so
you don't think it's overwhelming by decreasing all of it and condensing it down?
No, I don't, because it makes you think. It's like Mark Twain's quote, if I had more time, I would have written you a shorter letter. When you take a year's worth of content and find a way to, you realize what's a waste, what's complicated. You get rid, there was technology involved. They threw it out. They don't need the technology yet. They could use a platform like school or others and just get it done in 2 minutes. So it makes you throw, when you reduce the time, you have to have creative destruction.
Yes.
Meaning I had to blow stuff up and put in the most important parts, and it crushed it. Everybody's like, you're going to take 6 months for it? I'm like, no, 6 weeks, done. And I think if you look at it, if I said, now when people say, here's another thing I think's changes. So first is proximity and accountability. We started right away.
Yes.
Right? Second thing, time, reduce the time, right? Speed. I think we used to be in an area where, like, I'm buying a course. How long is it? I think our brains used to associate the time with the value. It's only a 3-hour course. Oh, that's $97. It's a 40-hour course. Oh, we'll just spend a couple grand. I'd spend a couple of grand for a 3-hour course if it got me the same results.
Exactly.
If I said to you, Karlton, if something helped, maybe you got hit on the head and you forgot how to work out and you ate cake every day and you put on 30 pounds you didn't want, right? If I said, hey man, I'm the guy that knows how to get the weight off you. Give me 5 grand and in 1 year you will be ripped again. Or if I said, give me 10 grand in 45 days, I'll have you back where you used to be. What would you choose?
And the check for 10K. Let's get started.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right?
Because the results is what
matters.
But
we're in that space. That's why, listen, when I reduced it to a 30-day program and a 6-week program, my team was freaked out. They're like, no, people aren't going to see the value in 6 weeks. I said, I'm not selling the time. I'm selling the outcome. And we had a big promise. If we don't match our promise at the end of 6 weeks, please get a refund.
Yes.
I mean, we promised people they'd get 15 hours a week back, if not get a refund, and nobody asked for a refund. They all got their 15 hours, right? And we did it in that time. So I think what I'm sharing with you was instinct, but it's what I'm physically doing. Proximity, accountability, condense the time. And because they're getting results so fast, you build trust through the journey.
Yeah.
It's like, this is session 1. I got more today than I've learned in a year, right?
What are some of the things that you've tested out in business that have turned out to be the biggest catalyst for you? Come off the top of your head.
There's a lot of them. Little things, and I've learned them through masterminding and listening. I love being in rooms of people that are way smarter than me, and I love being in rooms with people that are just starting, and they're, I do more in a day than they do all year in revenue, but they're hungry. They're where I used to be, and they're figuring things out. Like, so, when I see people get too smart for their own good, and they, we all want to be around our peers and people that are smarter because it stretches us, but sometimes you got to be around those hungry startup people. Probably one of the biggest needle movers, and this probably won't make sense to everybody, but I've been doing live launches, big events for 20 something years. Tony and I've been doing them together for about 8, right? We average almost 1 million people an event for the last 18 events, right?
That's right.
But it's expensive to do an event that big. And one day I was at an event and I was watching somebody talk about a VIP pass for virtual. And I'm like, what does that mean? And I just started thinking, when you do an in-person event, right? And Tony's done them, my partner Tony Robbins has done it bigger, better than anybody. Loves it, right? When you do an in-person event, if you sit up front, I'm not talking about Tony's numbers. I'm just making this up. Sit around the stage, go back after after the event, take a picture with whoever the person is. It's $5,000.
Mhm.
Next phase is $3,000, $2,000. Up in the nosebleeds, it's $900 a ticket. You can stand in the back for $97. It's been that way since the beginning of time. You go to a concert. Is it the same in the nosebleeds as it is up front?
No, of course not.
Right.
Price is
Not the
always
same.
more.
But now when COVID hit, we're doing virtual events. I'm like, it's all the same, right?
Mhm.
So I'm at this event and I'm talking, and somebody's talking about VIP, and it just hit me. Create a VIP upgrade on the way in. Like, everybody's invited to our events for free.
Mhm.
But if you'd like to go from YouTube to Zoom, if you'd like to do extra Q&A, if you'd like to, do extra hot seats again, if you'd like to keep the training, plus I'm going to give you a jumpstart book. If you'd like to upgrade, here's a very little price to upgrade.
Yes.
And it worked like gangbusters. And the people who upgrade were actually the happiest ones that showed up. They showed up 4 times more than the people who didn't pay. Because even if it was $27,
Yes.
I paid $27, I'm getting my money. So they show up.
Of course.
They show up with a journal open, ready to take notes. And they're the ones that say, if this was that good, I want more.
Yeah.
So that changed the game for me. I mean, talk about a needle mover. We'd spend millions of dollars for an event, and we get a lot of that back before we even get to the event. So it helped us self-liquidate our media,
Yes.
which has allowed us to impact more lives around the world, because instead of Tony and I keeping that money, we just put it back in and spent more.
Yes.
So you're buying the VIP, great, we'll spend more, spend more, spend more. And that's how we got, one of the ways we got to such big events.
Do you think that entrepreneurs today should grow a personal brand and sell one to many in the format that you and Tony have been able to master over the last few years?
It depends on if that's in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I always think attaching a personal brand to your business is great. I mean, that's the lens I look through, right? If you're a carpenter, you see hammers and nails, right? But for me, I see the benefit of people getting to know who I am, what I do, what I stand for, and I think it can only amplify a brand.
Yeah. There's people who are listening right now that feel behind. The world is changing extremely fast. Business is changing. Technology is changing. What would you say to someone who feels just completely overwhelmed by everything right now?
Welcome to being human. I mean, I feel it on a regular basis right now too. It's all moving fast, and
Yeah.
and I'm on top of it. I own an AI education company. We have a whole team that deciphers it for me, and it's still moving fast. So one thing to realize is most people are feeling that, and they felt that way when we went from horses to Model T Fords. And it's like, do I get rid of my horse? What's going on? When we went to the steam engine, then the gasoline engine, then the printing press, and then electricity, and then the internet. Every one of them has felt disturbing to people, and this one is bigger than all of them combined, because we never had something move so fast, so quick,
Yeah.
right? So first off, realize it's human, and then secondly, what you have to do is find the things that cause the overwhelm and stop it. I find people like, I can't believe all these things. I'm watching all these YouTube videos of all this happening. You know what I say? Stop watching YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Here's what I would say. Find one. And this is just the philosophy I've really adopted in business over the last 5 years. Find the biggest constraint that you want to solve that can move the needle in your life.
Yeah.
Just whatever it is. Launching the business, starting the business, marketing, sales. I've been dying to build an in-person sales floor, and I don't know how to do it. I need my online marketing. I want to double the size of my social media. Whatever the one that could truly move the needle, not the one the most comfortable to you, the one that can move the needle the most. And then think, why am I not doing that?
Yeah.
And that is the constraint you should solve. And then all focus should be, can I learn this one thing, this one AI strategy that helps me solve that? Can I read a book to help me solve that? If you condense it to one thing, the problem is we're seeing all this AI. It's like, oh, I should have my house bills done this way, and I should do my accounting this way,
Yes.
and I should have a spreadsheet this way, and I should be vibe coding this thing, or I should be Claude. Do I use Claude Code? Do I use Claude Cowork? Or is chat okay? No, but
Yeah.
Grok's doing good. And it's like, you don't even know what you're solving for. You're just running all over the place. It's like, if you just say, hey, in the next 90 days, I'm going to launch my sales floor, then everything you should do is find strategies, AI, people, information that can help you solve that one thing. And then all the noise goes away. And
Yes.
I would obsessively focus out and tune out everything else.
Yes. Dean, you've mastered business to the point where success was in the past for you. You've achieved success. Why are you still building businesses today?
I mean, that old saying, if you're not growing, you're dying. If you're not climbing, you're sliding. I think one of
Do you
it,
feel it?
yeah. I feel like I feel like if you're gifted with this ability to do cool stuff and impact lives,
Yeah.
that what would I be doing? Would I golf 36 holes a day? Like, I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably drink a scotch by 2 o'clock. I don't even drink scotch. Never had one in my life, but I'd probably start. Right? I don't know what I'd do to with myself. And my daughter's here with me today. I like her that she's watching me do this. I like at 57, gonna be 58 soon, that I'm still cranking every day. I like it's the best version of me. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of reasons. One, especially being partners with Tony Robbins, there's a lot more lives I have to impact.
Yeah.
That's just the way I feel. And whether that's a sales job on myself or not, there are people's lives that I know I can help, and it's my obligation to do it. That
Absolutely.
drives me every day.
Yeah.
Number two, I want to be a good example for my wife and kids. I wouldn't be a great stay-at-home dad. I'm just being honest. I wouldn't be. I'd get bored. I wouldn't know what to do with myself. My kids see I get to be a great dad, but when they know dad's creating, he's innovating, he's pushing hard. And I want my kids to have a kick-ass work ethic.
Yeah.
I just do, no matter what they decide. So I want to be a good example. And I feel like I was gifted a lot and I have a lot more to give. Like, I don't know. I don't know what else I'd do.
If you could go back to my age, I'm 32 years old. What would
I'm
you
such a kid. It's awesome.
I feel like I'm getting old. I feel my knees this morning.
Yeah.
What would you obsess over at my age right now?
You know, if it was anybody else, I'd say, I watch you with your kids. I would obsess on what more you could say no to outside of the business you want to build and the family you have. I would bet to say it's been a decade now that I say no to mostly everything, unless it's got to do with my children, my wife, or my business. And I'm the happiest guy alive. Like when you start getting wealth and you start compounding and you start getting more and more connections, sometimes, and maybe this is just me, sometimes you feel like there's a path you're supposed to take. I'm supposed to go to this event. I got invited to the Grammys. Oh my God, this party, there's all billionaires there. And like, I'm just making stuff up. You know, there's this work trip where we're going to do, it's almost like you feel like you got this rite of passage because you worked so hard to get it. And now these opportunities come.
Yeah.
And I know I spent half a decade, maybe a decade and a half of thinking I had to dress a certain way, do a certain thing. And then there was one day it's like, no. When I'm at my last breath in my life, I know I'm going to think to myself, did I give my kids all the tools I could for them to live a fulfilled life? That's me personally. Like I literally think of my last breath. I'm saying, did I leave my wife in a great spot? And did I give my kids the tools to just be fulfilled, to be good citizens, to be good Christians or whatever your beliefs are, just to be good humans and happy, not you know, country club kids. I don't mean that disrespectfully. I was really going to say trust fund. That's a trust fund. Kids that you can't find peace. They have the money, but they don't have the peace. I want my kids to be resourceful. So when I think of the end of my life and I want my kids to be productive, amazing humans on this earth, that makes me realize that going back there's nothing more important. You're not going to remember the billionaires you hung out with. You're not going to remember the Emmys or the Grammys or the fancy party with the cocktails. You're going to remember your daughter running across the pool and jumping on your lap and say, Dad, let's go swimming. That's what you're going to remember. That's going to be your last thoughts. So if you remember that every day, you'll always make good decisions.
Your partner, Lisa, what has she meant to you in your life?
Everything. To have the right significant other, my wife, it's beyond the greatest gift. Because when you know your personal life is in check, that your family's okay, your home's okay, your partnership's okay, the trust is deep, the love is there no matter what, you just fly brighter, stronger, higher.
Yeah. Dean, you've been sharing all these nuggets, man. I have to say I'm super grateful, but there's so many people that are watching this right now and they're like, where do I even begin? This is just so much. What would you tell that person that wants to get started right now and they're listening to this, they're motivated, they're excited? Where's that start?
So the first thing I would do is whatever you think you're doing it for, there's a deeper reason. Just go find the purpose. Because the last thing I'll share is I told you I was at meeting with the largest bankers in the world.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting with this amazing woman who's a head of the education side. And I told her the importance of a purpose for anything, learning, traveling, success. And she's like, yeah, I get that. I'm like, no, I don't think you do. I said, let me give you an example. And this is what I'll end it here. I said, we were right next to Camelback Mountain, which you know is in the center of Scottsdale, right?
Yes.
I said, she said she had a brother. I said, if your brother was on the top of Scottsdale Mountain and he called you right now and said, hey, I climbed this mountain. It's 100 degrees. I have no water. Could you climb the mountain? Bring me a bottle of water. I said, what would you say? She's like, You should have thought of it. Come down and get yourself a bottle of water. I said,
Yeah.
what if, same situation, he's on top of the mountain, calls you and says, I fell, I cut myself, I'm bleeding to death. I need you to run up here and save me. I said, what would you do? She goes, I'd jump out of this window and sprint to the top of that mountain. So what's the difference of the two? One had a deeper purpose. You find a deeper purpose, you'll find the answers. You'll become resourceful. You'll do what it takes. You'll mentor under the right people. You'll cut the check. You'll go to the event. You'll learn. You'll say no when other people say yes. You'll say yes when other people say no. Deepen the purpose. There's nothing that can stop you.
Thank you. Guys, Wealth Made Simple, Dean Graziosi, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. And I appreciate you being a mentor to me and sharing this lesson with everybody. Thank you.
It was awesome. Thanks, man.
Incredible. Incredible.